Hello, Commanders, and welcome to the RNG Endgame, a podcast about the game Marvel Strike Force. Your hosts are Frid and Creative. We're leaders in an alliance from a large cluster, and would like to share our insights with you to hopefully improve your gameplay and overall experience, and give you a little entertainment.
All right, Creative, would you believe it? Number 77. We're back for another week, and we'll start the proper way to start this show with some gearing and leveling, also known as me talking about my roster. So finally, it feels like I have something to talk about. It's been kind of slow for the past couple weeks because of Future Revolution, but also because there doesn't seem to have been anything going on. But now we got a few things to talk about. So the first thing is White Tiger in some mysterious switcheroo, or what is it? Decimal Jeff or Compensation Carl?
Yeah, Calendar Carl, Compensation Carl. They all got together after
They
hearing us
said,
complain about the arena store.
We've had it. You can't put two characters in the arena orb. That makes no sense. How does this even work? So they had said Phyla-Vell and White Tiger were going to the arena orb, but lo and behold, White Tiger went to the Blitz orb instead of the arena orb. So I was like, all right. I can't remember how many Blitz orbs stacked up.
I know.
220?
You had 200 to 220. Yeah. I had 277.
And 240,000 Blitz currency. So I used everything I could, and I got a 7-star White Tiger. So.
And how many Blitz credits do you have left?
Let me see. I have a grand total of 138,000. But I had 250, 240, 250, maybe. Okay.
But I mean, what else were we using this stuff for?
I know. No, I calculated it at about 90,000 after the orbs, and it looks like about 100 maybe. So not bad. I mean, what else is this for? So, but from now until the next character, I'm sure I'll have a stash again.
Well, we're just, doing so much from a war standpoint. So no, I'm just kidding.
We keep these events that makes us blitz. Let me not get ahead of myself. Okay, so another thing is begrudgingly and against all our own advice, I opened arena orbs for stupid Phyla-Vell because I needed 27 to get to 5-star. So this is the rare time where we would recommend you doing this. And also I had 100,000 or something currency. I think it takes, this math was like 30,000 arena credits to get what you need.
Just to get the 27 shards.
27 shards. I think about it. 30,000 is 30 days at number 1.
Wow.
Yeah. But again, I have been done with Shatterstar and Red Guardian and Scream for a while. So it's just doing nothing. Now, beyond this, I'm not going to press my luck and burn it all on trying to get her to 6 and 7. I will wait until she's 975, and we'll see if I decide to do it then. But at least she's 5 now, so that's good.
That'll make a big, big difference for you in Arena.
She's 5 reds already, so that's good. All right. Then I started seeing, so this is I think it's a bug, but Kestrel has been showing up for me in Ultimus orbs over and over again. Like I think I got 45, maybe 60 shards of Kestrel out of Ultimus orbs, which she's not listed, right? Because she is premium orb exclusive. However, I kept seeing her in Ultimus orbs. And then I think I showed you 199 of 200, right?
Wow, yeah.
And I needed 1 shard for a 6. So I kept opening stuff for Ultimas and didn't have any luck. Then I opened a basic orb, the little red basic orb, and she is also in there. Yes. So I got 1.
I've definitely been getting her in the basic orb for a while. So maybe, they put her everywhere, but instead of like having her farmable, the only other method is in the premium orb. I don't know.
I looked at the Ultima's list and she's not in there. but she is in fact in the orb, so who knows?
Now, did you go into the orb or did you hit the find button?
I went into the orb.
Okay, because I was going to say the find button doesn't show Ultimus orbs and a couple other things. But anyway, I'm getting you off track here. Why don't you
Yeah,
keep
no, you
going?
look at that eye and look at all the characters.
Yeah.
They're alphabetical. I didn't see her. Maybe I'll check again. But anyway, point being, I got her to 6. So I started feeling like things were turning my way, between Deathpool. I talked about that last week, how I already got 5 like last week, right? I
Yeah,
was
you've
like,
had her for a while.
crazy. I haven't been doing the hundreds. I'm like, well, now I have extra credits. So what's out there? Well, when we say that you have excess credits, the only other thing that's somewhat worth it and it's not that good is the 675, right? With a new character. So Mr. Shang Chi is out there. And I just had a feeling that something good was going to come my way. So on the third orb, I pull an 80 on Shang-Chi. I was like, woo!
Wow,
I
man.
was right at 94 of 100, so I did another one to get the 6, which is exactly what I got. So I got him to 3-star from 4 orbs, which is really, really good. I was pretty excited about that. And I've been leveling him up to about tier 12. I think I'm going to take him to 13, maybe more. So there you go. And we'll talk about what this means for the event when we get there. But pretty good overall, these characters. So I finally see like my collection moving a little bit and rounding out these characters, making them stronger. Kestrel is just a monster at 6 reds. Like, she used to blow things up, but now it's even more. Like, on the skill nodes in Doom 1, it's like, it's just cuts right through. So, and also on the Gamma raid. So, fun to have her. And now it'll take, what, a year to 7?
Oh, yeah, sure.
They'll
Very
make
lucky.
her farmable somehow by that time.
When
Honestly.
some new exclusive character comes out in a year, she'll
Uh-huh.
be worthless. But I mean, that's a phenomenal set, though. I mean, those are some key marquee characters. Very, very lucky. So now Frid Luck is really back,
Yeah,
back in business.
they're like, spend some money, buddy. Look at all the good stuff we're giving you.
Now,
Like,
I do have to ask you on that topic. There was a White Tiger offer for 50 shards for $2. Did you buy that?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe that had swung your luck, but okay.
No. Now we know why that offer
Right,
existed.
right.
It's because she was going to the Blitz orb all along, not the Arena orb. So
Mhm.
think about it. You could save, if 27 was like 30,000 Arena orbs, 50 would be double, like 60,000 Arena orbs for $2. I mean, something like that
Wow.
would be worth it. But she was going to Blitz, so there we go. All right, rounding out ISO Blue level 3 on Doc Ock to help with those pesky tech nodes. And I think he's going to be there for a while. He's just a great character all around for tech, which is currently lacking, actually.
Quite a bit.
I'm not sure what to do for Doom 1 there. It's like they get wiped in the first node. Because Ghost, you blow on her and she dies, and Minerva is way outclassed. And yeah, Shuri is kind of, I don't use her, but I've heard that she's also kind of flimsy.
Yeah, I'm thinking of taking her in though.
I mean, there's nothing else, so
There is
yeah.
nothing else. So there's a rumor right now going around. I think Tana has started it that we're getting some new tech character, but we'll see. And we keep hearing rumors of a bio and tech because it's painful right now.
Yep.
And 1.1.
Yep. All right. The aforementioned Deathpool is tier 15, ISO level 5. I could do some of the blue, but believe it or not, I don't use her anywhere. Like, because the Mystic nodes, I just do with what I have. I have no problem. And my lane partner takes the boss. So she'll be important for 1.1. So I'm glad I have her out of the way, but maybe when Cloak and Dagger show up, it make a little bit more sense as a team.
I would tell you, I would sub her in right away. The fact that you have her that high, so I had Doom die on me, and I just put her in, and the team was phenomenally better. There's so much energy going around.
Oh, really?
Oh, just the energy generation alone is worth it. I was, getting to do Silver Surfer his ult multiple times, and then Maul's ult several times. I mean, you could take Doom out, but I would really, a lot of times people talk about Hela or Adam Warlock is the fifth. Sub that out.
Yeah.
You go with Maul, Thanos, Surfer, Deathpool, and Doom, and that's a solid team.
Yeah, I have Warlock, and I was thinking about it. Okay, I'll do that this tonight, and I can report back.
Yep, I've already been using it. It's
not you. Do you have her with any blue or no?
No, she's tier 13. She's just fine, tier 13. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
She is kit based, so you don't need all the stats.
Yeah.
So okay, well I'll give it a shot then. See what she does. Do you hold any abilities? Like what? How does it work?
No, so that's the thing. I mean, you can if you want in the last few characters. So I wouldn't use Silver Surfer's ult on the last 3 characters or 5 characters. I wouldn't use Maul's ult in the last few, but you get a lot of energy from her and then Thanos. So it's a lot of energy flying around.
Okay, well I'm gonna try that. All right, and then Infinity Watch. I got him to 81. You reminded me of that. It's like, but the arena has been a disaster. I finished out of the top 20. It's mostly because I haven't been like at 6 o'clock watching it as closely.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's kind of frustrating, the same match over and over again.
And it's a very long, painful fight. It's a really bad fight.
Yeah. So, fine. I mean, I'm down to 8,000 cores. What can I do? Maybe that's part of the fortune burning cores. Copley's like, yes, let's reward him. And then, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I got a 7 red Mystique out of an orb. This was a while ago. And would have been nice a year ago. But I have noticed my Marauders with Doom win all the time in war.
Oh, nice.
They throw Black Order or something and just die. So, remember I have that 6 red Emma and this 7 Mystique. You know?
That's solid. Okay.
It's a lot of good stuff. So I may bring her up. I think she's 13. I need to look. What does she use? Adamantium, maybe?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, same thing as Ultron, that Adamantium.
Ugh. Oh, that's such a low priority, but it is painful, it sounds like, for people to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that rounds out the best part of the show. So,
all right, folks, have a great day.
Discord. Oh, sorry.
You can tell it's been a long week for us, folks. We're a little giggly today, so yep. On the topic of red stars, I already posted this in Discord. I opened a ridiculous amount of red star orbs, and I had a 1-star Shang Chi. I went back and opened about 10 more regulars and got a 3 red star Shang Chi. I'm very, very bitter on this. I mean, I opened multiple Elite 5s, a lot of Elite 4s, a lot of regulars. I was about to do my own video, like Valley Flying, about cursing at Scopely. So I'm glad that you things are working out for you. But I got I actually don't think I got any upgrades in all of that. But I do have a correction that I've been meaning to make on the show for quite a while. I keep saying I don't have any 7 red stars, or that I've not pulled any, and that's actually incorrect. I have 2. I have Iceman and Moon Knight that I've pulled. I don't even remember when I pulled these, and the fact is I knew that I was never going to get to 7 red stars anytime soon, that I don't even really get excited about a 7 red star pull. But Iceman, he's got focus problems. Moon Knight I really do like, and now that White Tiger is, in big quotes, farmable, I will be taking him up a little higher, but no ability to farm him anytime soon, so maybe he'll become farmable after this. So 2-7
are pulled are Iceman and Moon Knight.
Yeah. So I mean that's
Hulk and Mystique.
Yeah.
I think you're a little bit better there.
Yeah, this is true. So but let's put this in context, and then how many other 7 red star characters have you acquired through the store? Yeah, Thanos and Black Bolt. Anybody else?
Thanos, Black Bolt.
You didn't do Gamora, right?
No.
Yeah.
I got
So we have a
Shang Chi.
grand total of 7 yellow star characters after playing this game for nearly 3 years. Yeah, that system's working great. Anyway, let's
Let's not go down that
let's
path.
not get
'Cause
on
then
that
that's
path.
darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking. 1, 2, 3, 4 total. Yep, that's it.
Sad times, sad face. Okay, so from my perspective, I don't know how. I've just been opening so many things. I've been stockpiling Ultimus orbs. I've been stockpiling a bunch of stuff, and after opening a whole bunch of stuff, I now have Misty and Colleen to 5 yellow stars. So I didn't spend any extra cores on them way back when, and Colleen was sitting at 125 out of 130 forever. Misty was fairly close as well, but they're now 5 stars. Shang Chi, I do want to come out. We both went ahead and spent the 675 core orb to unlock him. You, of course, got much better luck than I. Because we suspected that his event, it read a lot like an anti-venom event. And we're going to get into those numbers here very quickly. But I did post in Discord that we'd recommend, if you're looking to get higher yellow stars, you're going to need to spend the cores for that. And there's now some other things that we'll get into. So I have taken up the Heroes for Hire, and I would give really almost anyone that has even a monochrome of interest in war to go ahead and level that team up to 300k. Just because even at that level, they are a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't had the joy and pleasure of fighting a Heroes for Hire team with Shang-Chi, nothing works on them except Infinity Watch. There's a few things that can work, but a lot of my counters, I would take a punch down with symbiotes. I would take in the Black Bolt and Humans, Surfer kind of team. Maybe if I threw in Kestrel would work, but nothing was working on these guys. So fully give the recommendation for war. Take that team up, put it on your defense, even if it's at 300k. And then the other piece is you're going to need to start saving Infinity Watch just for this team. Even if your Infinity Watch is 750k or whatever the heck it is, you're going to want to still take out a 300k Heroes for Hire. So start saving that now that people are going to have this character. Those that are even moderately focused on war will take those teams in. You're going to see a whole lot more of them, and they are very, very painful.
I had already taken some of them to 14 and stuff. So with Shang-Chi now, which I not to rub it in, but I did get at least a 4 red star. I had to open a bit of stuff, but I did get a 4. So what you got is an insult. It's one of those that you'll have to buy from the store, I guess.
Negative.
No,
there's no way that. So I talked last week that the game is trying to force me to quit. So I've gotten. There's no way I'm going to put anything in Heroes for Hire in terms of red star purchases. I still have 4 red stars on the Secret Avengers, and then 4 red stars on the New Warriors. So there's a whole lot bigger priorities for me than Heroes for Hire. So they're going to sit where they are. I don't think they're that great outside of war defense. Plus, I still don't think they're going to be able to cut it in Gamma as well.
All right. Well, that's fair. I think I understood his job is just to be there as well. You don't need to have him.
Very exciting. He sits there and gives people buffs.
Right, and you don't get to play him. It's great.
Yeah, very rewarding. Yep. So what else? I've only taken 2 of my characters, Infinity Watch, up to 81. It is 400,000 gold to do such activities. It is crazy. And then, of course, it is a whole lot of training mats as well. So I'm always training mats starved. So I'm kind of going to do things piecemeal. I think we do need to chat amongst ourselves and with our alliance about is going to 81, 82, 83 going to help in Doom 1.1? I think it will a little bit. My biggest concern, and I've talked about it the other week, and we've been doing Doom 1.1 much more regularly, do it several times or a couple times a week. The bio nodes are just so rough. I've got really good at knowing the fight, and I can do the first two nodes and typically get decently along on the bio boss. But this week everything just kind of failed. I couldn't put anything on JJ. She cleansed on the boss, and just everything went south. But I struggle a lot on that, so I'm thinking of actually prioritizing the those bio characters to 81 just to try and see if that does anything for science. But we're actually talking about sending more people away from the top lane. So sometimes we run 3 people up there. We're talking about sending people down to the bottom lane or the left lane, however you want to refer to it, and that has the mini bio nodes, to send people down there so we can actually make more progress, because we've had multiple strike teams get stuck in the top lane on the bio boss. So I'm just shocked and amazed that we still don't have anything for this solution. Scopely says we're not supposed to be able to conquer content on day 1. I mean, we're on day 150 in Doom, and we're still having these challenges. So we'll see. I've been rambling here a bit. I think that's probably it for me. I'm really curious about the Shang Chi event numbers. That's probably why a lot of people came. So, Frid, I have intentionally not done a lot of numbers and paying attention to it. I wanted to see if it is in fact possible to achieve the elusive 5 yellow stars from one of these types of events. Of course, this time they changed it up. So, with that, let's run the numbers.
All right, so a new event that, if you remember, when we read it, we were completely confused by what it was trying to do. And all right, so let's start with something good, and that is that they're making it interesting in the sense of it seems to have a tie-in to the movie with these medallions and the 10 rings or whatever the heck it is. So there's something there to be said about trying to be thematically, and the timing. Think about it.
I mean, spot on timing.
Yeah. Movie released tonight. So this is the kind of stuff that I think they were hoping when we didn't have COVID and all these delays. So this is good, right? I mean, that's nice. Like, the movie's coming out. You want the character. I know he's just war and all that, but I mean, it's spot on. Now, they are getting creative and changing it again. Also, by changing, they're obscuring certain things that we had to hunt and peck for. And they added a store. So let's break it all down one at a time so you get to understand what you need to do and what you'll get out of it. So the first thing to understand is there is only one milestone this time, right? Remember how there used to be
one for an orb and one for the...
You open orbs, and then there's a daily one, and all this other stuff. None of that. There's one, the big one, the 72,000 points that you need for this milestone. Now, what is in this milestone? There's a lot of good stuff in there. There's a 5 red Iron Fist. There's an Elite 6 orb. Hey, you may get another shot at something. You can do it in time. There's gear 15. There's blue ISO. And anything else of note that you saw? Shang Chi orbs, of course.
I'm still making sure I heard you right. A 5 red star Iron Fist?
Yeah, heroes for hire. No?
So we've had characters like Magneto and Zemo. I like Iron Fist, just because it was, the nostalgia factor, but doesn't quite have the same ring as a Magneto or a Zemo, though.
I know. Okay. I don't have a 5 red Iron Fist, so for me it's an upgrade. So I was like, all right, good enough.
Okay.
But yeah, there was plenty of other choices. Colleen, Misty, what else?
I mean, Colleen was the choice there if you had to go with the theme, but okay.
Anyway, they went with Iron Fist. At least not Luke Cage, 3 red.
Right.
That everybody gets for free when you unlock red stars. Okay, so the other thing that is new is that you get 150 shards of Shang Chi out of this whole thing, which is the most I think they've ever given out of a milestone, right? 150.
Yeah.
Because normally there was an orb that you have to open. So again, there's no orbs, there's no separate daily milestone or anything. There's just this one milestone.
But
Now,
that means they have to make up for it in a lot of places. So I don't know if that's enough. But you keep going. Okay, you keep going.
So
I'm not gonna.
how do you get these points to make the 72,000? Well, you have to spend. You have to earn, but not earn. You have to spend this currency called Fire Essence. Okay, so how do you get this Fire Essence so that you can spend it on the store, which we'll get to? It's 4 ways. So one way is from the daily objectives. So you have 800 points from your daily objectives. I think it's the arena, the raid, and blitz, maybe? 3 things. And then you get it. Just daily stuff that you normally do. And then you get 1-for-1 for campaign energy from your regular campaign and your ISO campaign. The death pool does not count. So that's 3 ways that I've just said. The dailies, campaign, and ISO campaign. So, creative, can you guess the 4th way that you have to use to make up the gap? Because this won't give you enough. Is there something new and exciting that they may choose to do here?
Well, we're at options here, so usually it's the wallet.
The wallet, okay.
I'm sure that's a way of doing it. What else?
You could do it that way, but their default way to make up for any
to blitz. Sorry, yes.
Blitz. That's right. So here we are again with another blitz event. So what else? Well, there's no orb, so yeah, this is it. So blitz. All right, so let's break it down. From the 3 ways that are more normal activity that you do that we recommend, which means your normal energy, including the 3 free grants that you get through the, what do you call those? Bonus throughout the day, 80 each. And 4 times 50 cores, right? For the refresh. That's 1,008 campaign a day. And then from ISO, you get 600, and then there's like a half orb that you get for free every day. So an orb every other day, give or take. So that's 660. So between the 3 of those, you have 2,468 points for 14 days that this event runs. That gives you about 34,500. So that leaves about 37,500 to go. And you have to do blitz. Each blitz win will give you 22 points. So that means that if you divide that by 22 points by 14 days, you have to win 122 blitz a day. So then what you do is just take this 122, note it down, and divide it by the number of teams you can win with. And that will give you how many cycles you need to do. So let's take us, for example. We can run 35 teams. If we really wanted, we could win with most of these, but we're going to tank and just make it easier. And we can maybe get 30 wins. That's about 4 cycles a day, and you're there.
Oh, so that's less cycles overall then. Okay.
Let's say you have 15 teams that can win, then you have to do all 8 cycles. Unlike the events where there's orbs, there's really not a lot of incentive to do the 8 cycles and get more, because all you can do with the extra is spend it on this store, which again we'll get to in a second. But so far, do your daily stuff and 4 cycles of blitz if you're near the end game. So let's call it 5 to 6 if you're not. And then we're not counting charges and all that other stuff that you can do, bonus blitzing. So what do you think so far about that?
So I'm running the shards in my head. That's always what I'm focusing on. So you talked about the one milestone. How many shards are in this? 100
Uh-huh.
and
150, which
okay.
is good
So
enough for a 3
and some
star
change.
and
Okay.
change.
So at this stage, that's where I was getting at. This stage, we're not even at 4 yellow stars. Okay. So all right. Well, you keep going. I'm waiting for the magic. How do we get to 5?
See, there's no orbs that you can open, right?
Right.
So
So
like before, you could keep opening orbs and maybe get there. But all right, so the other component of this that I mentioned was the medallions, right?
mm-hmm.
And the medallions, there's 10 because there's 10 rings. I guess this has to do with the movie. Oof, no spoilers, please. I haven't watched it. We're going tomorrow morning. Anyway, um, the way it was explained was confusing. We had no information. They said it was going to be 3 ways. Calendar, from the milestones, and from the cash in your wallet to get these medallions. Now, the medallions are needed to unlock the costume. And there's some goodies in them, okay?
Okay.
So we finally discovered that there's 4 medallions from the calendar. And those 4 give you things like fully crafted purple gear. Woohoo! There's like some, I think, fully crafted ISO tier 1. There were some basic blue orb, blue ISO in some of these. One had like war credits. And what else? Those are some of the ones that were included in the calendar as well as the milestones. So between those two, you get 7, 4 from the calendar and 3 from the milestones. And my understanding is the 7 is good enough for the costume. Okay?
Okay.
But there's 10 rings, so we have 3 more. All right?
Okay.
2 of these are with cash. One is $20.
What?
The other one is $5. I think the $20 had mini unique gear 15 pieces, and the $5 I think is the one that had the war credits. So I don't know about spending money here for this. And then there is a last one that costs 1,000 cores. It's the silver medallion. What does the silver medallion have? 30 Shang Chi shards and 20, up to 20, of Colleen and Misty.
Okay.
Total.
So you have to spend 1,000 cores to get to 4 yellow stars.
Yes. And you're guaranteed, right, 4 yellow stars. Because with the orbs, you could fall short if you're really unlucky and stuff. This is at least guaranteed.
So let's back up. You're phrasing it so nicely. The answer is we were guaranteed 4.5 yellow stars for these events before. We didn't have to purchase things in an RNG store before. I'm glad they're giving people the option to purchase all sorts of gear. But now we've been shorted another, 100 shards? Where, from a free-to-play perspective, it's at least 100 shards that are missing.
Well, now, like 130 divided by 2, like 60, 65 shards, something like that, right? So you would get to...
we're not even getting to 4 yellow stars. And then
Oh,
you need
you mean
another...
if you don't use the cores. You're right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I'm not saying 100% free-to-play, not even using the cores.
I got you. Yes, you're right.
Missing a whole lot of shards. You're at 150. You need 310. You're not even halfway to 5, and normally we'd be pretty darn close to 4.5, and you could spend some cores. So yet again, we continue to get less and less shards upon release, unless you spend a god awful amount of money. Now these other medallions, they give shards. I was trying to keep up, and I apologize.
No, only the silver, the one with 1,000 cores.
And you can only buy that once, I assume.
Yeah,
because there's only one offer. So there's no way. I'm thoroughly confused. So there is no way to go buy this guy, from the event. You have to literally go back and now buy what is terrible orbs. Because at this stage, the initial offering is gone. And now we have the crappy rewards or crappy offers where you get less and less shards per piece. So I don't understand this. But anyway.
Yeah, you would have to do the 675.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess you're right. I'm being too optimistic here. This is actually
This is a big nerf.
It's a nerf to what we got. It doesn't. I mean, remember, we were doing the crazy blitzing and
I get all that, but you at least had a path that you could get 4.5, if not more, yellow stars, and then you spend some cores to get the rest of the way. Now you have to spend a whole lot of cores, and probably, you're just spending a lot of cores to even get remotely close to 5 yellow stars, which is where they need to be usable for us.
So I guess if you're going to go down the path of this, you think you need to open orbs, the 675, do those before the
event
silver medallion, because you may hit a jackpot and then not have to do the 1,000 cores. Because there's no really other incentive, right? If, let's say, you pull a 30 out of a 675, then you're done with having to do 1,000. So just a tip there. I guess you're right. It is a bit of a nerf. And then they made it convoluted. And here's a thing also to add insult to your injury. If you, for some reason, just accumulate all this currency, right? But forget that you have to go to this store and buy unnecessary stuff that they have. What are some of the things let's just talk about this. What are some of the things that you saw in there that you think
So I am deathly afraid of not having something to buy. And so I am buying training mats at the bottom because I always need training mats. I'm always out of those. And then there's nothing else I need. I mean, from a purple gear perspective, I'm not going to buy this stuff. I've got the raid store and other places. I still have thousands of raid orbs. So the only other thing I'm looking for is uniques, which aren't in the store. So I am buying Elite 5 credits at a ridiculous rate. But one purchase spends 3,000. So I'm not worried about having this problem of having the currency on hand and not anything to spend.
Yeah. So the convenience, 3,000 of this currency gets you 150 fragments of an Elite 5, right? What this means is you need to buy that thing 34 times to get an Elite 5.
Yeah.
Which at 3,000 is 102,000 of this currency. We only need 72 for the event. So that's the one incentive to blitz all the way is to get to this 102,000 so you can have an Elite 5.
One orb that has a chance of 100 thousands of characters in it.
You get a minion like hand sorcerers for 5.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the math intentionally, but I mean, you could, if you're not buying that, you could have trouble getting to 5,000 in a day.
That's right.
Everything is 400, 300, and that's kind of dinky. And then if you're just buying purple gear, you're not getting anywhere fast. So,
yep, and 5,000 that Creative is mentioning, and we may put this in the Discord as a quick infographic of where you need to be each day, but it's around 5,000 that you want to spend a day to make sure you're keeping up with the
pace.
Because if you happen to miss it, guess what you can do? You can refresh the store for 50 cores, so you can spend. So yet another unfriendly mechanic, another thing you have to remember to do obsessively so that you don't get caught in the end. If people don't even notice that they made it prominent because it sticks out, but still, it's like a whole other thing that we have to train you on and talk about these numbers to get you to understand. Here's the last kicker of confusion. I was looking for where the medallions give the costume credits. Not because I care about costumes, but just because I want to be thorough for the show. And I couldn't find it for the life of me until I watched a video. So do you know where they put the credits for opening the medallions?
Going through all the medallions right now, and I don't see it. So you tell me.
It's in the achievements section. That's where you get your gold bits for the costume. Anyway, it's just another.
Oh, there it is, all the way, and they didn't even put it at the top. They put it at the bottom. Open
And you
one
can't
medallion.
see if it's equal or you're gonna get more. You just see the one that you're in at a time.
Wow.
Anyway, it's just
interesting.
I don't know why that goes there compared to where they normally put things.
I feel like they need a whole demo tooltip on where the heck you're supposed to go. I mean, the store is a flaming thing. It's bright yellow. You can't miss that one, but good grief. Like, I was just trying to find where the heck the shards are. I'm like, where is this again? Oh, that's in the offers. Oh, where is this? Oh, it's in the store. Yeah. Whew. Nelly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's recap. Good job on.
There's a lot of information, but let's see if you got it all. Maybe if you could say it back to me, what would you tell?
Oh goodness,
people they need to do.
I only have one thing to say. You're only getting 3.5 stars. No, so I mean that's all that I care about. Yeah. But ultimately, we've taken away the orb and we've replaced it with this currency where you have to spend the currency in the store, and that finally then gets you the milestones. The milestones give you the 150 shards, and you have to spend cores to get another 30 to get to 4 yellow stars. So, wow, that's a lot to unpack. I intentionally, as soon as I looked at it, I didn't want to go into it too far, just to be a kind of a neutral observer. But yes.
Yeah, and it's you're between minimum 4 cycles a day for 14 days of blitzing, up to 8 if you have only 15 teams. If you have less than 15, you can't get there. That's the other. But anyway, how early do you get 15 teams? I don't know. That can win. I'm not sure, but that's something else to think about.
Yep.
But
wow.
Yeah.
I'm still reeling. So there's you can't even get to 4 yellow stars in these events now. Wow.
So while it's thematic and clever, I think we have concluded that it's a big nerf. We are getting less for same amount of work, and I think the orbs had other stuff in them too.
Well, you could say that this is, I guess, the other thing. Sorry, go ahead and finish.
Well, no, and you get a 5 red Iron Fist.
Of course, I mean that right there makes the whole event. So I guess you could view it as a quality of life improvement, though, right? So you're barely having to do any blitz.
Right.
There is no real upside to significant blitzing. So that was the one thing. There was some people in Discord that said they always get 5 yellow stars. And I said, well, statistically, I can't say the word. That's impossible. So you must be blitzing like a crazy man. So now there is 0 benefit, and Scopely has seen that none of us are blitzing anywhere near we used to be. So they have now reduced the number. So quality of life up, shards down.
Yeah. Okay. So you the incentive to go above is this Elite 5, which doesn't even make sense. So in reality, once you hit you should do it so that you're hitting the 5,000 a day, so that you'll get to 72 and not do more, right? Mm-hmm. And get some quality. 4 cycles, as painful as it is. What can that be? 35 teams.
I mean, that's 20 minutes. It's 5 minutes.
25 minutes. So
yeah, that's not
bad.
Not bad. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking us through that. Apologies for the interruption. Hopefully, folks were able to follow along and not get too distracted by my interruptions. But
I did. There's 10 million infographics and other creators that break it down really in a spreadsheet, but we're trying to simplify it for you and tell you exactly what you need to be doing to get all these rewards. So,
okay.
What else creative this week?
Well, we had a video come out earlier today from Tana, and he is, let's say, anti-PvP, would be a nice way of saying it. And he had a data mine basically showing that Blitz would now count to the Mojo Battle Pass. And of course, he was overshot by the blog post that came out right afterwards and confirmed the same. So it appears that PvP is nearly dead. So you can Blitz or you can do PvP. I think we all know the answer to that one. I mean, Blitz takes half a second to automate. And if you go through your roster, I mean, the time you would take to do one match by the time you wait for the queuing, and then you were complaining that people are now playing PvP instead of autoing, you can do half a Blitz cycle and be done with your knockouts. I mean, it's even not even half a cycle. So this to me signals the end of PvP, or at least PvP in its current form. So we have some very vocal folks in Discord about PvP, so this should make them very happy.
I mean, even let's say that in the most evil of moves, they say you have to play Blitz, right? You can't sim. Let's just say because they want to be evil. I still think that's better than PvP.
Yeah, you have a much higher chance of winning against the
you
dumb
know,
AI,
you pick your matchup, you know what you need to do, and just auto and done. Wow. And not have to sit there and wait for the other guy to decide to make moves, you know? Yeah.
I think I would have to release a rage video if that was the case.
I think
a lot of people would be. So
I'm not gonna do that, but
yeah.
It's basically they have given up. They've run out of ideas. They don't know what to do with PvP, and here we are. The last remnants of usefulness are now gone.
Wow. So that has died a long and slow death. It had promise, and it has now died. So, I mean, there's zero chance that people are actually going to queue up for this. I mean, I know some people that like it, and it's fun to go in and do things sometimes, but if you're like us and you're just trying to get to those daily rewards as fast as possible, you're definitely going to be blitzing. So that was a big turn of events. The other bit is every content creator under the sun that is an envoy has been participating in war changes, and but pretty much all of them have come out and said we hated the war changes, and so they went back and did it again. And so now that Scopely has said yes, you can go talk about it, quite a few content creators have released details. We are not in the playtest, so we are just basically copying and pasting. And I watched Philosopher's video. He did kind of a PowerPoint presentation in true form, and I want to just kind of talk about war from a numbers perspective first. And one of the things that I kept commenting on to you, Frid, was it certainly feels like it's easy to do a full clear. In that we're still, I think we're now Platinum 1 because we had we had a little bit of Alliance turnover and we just don't push anymore. So we're on the cusp of Platinum 1, Platinum 2, but we're still facing Platinum 2 teams, which is funny. But I noticed we always clear the other team. Even if it's an off war, we always clear. And that's because, half of us go and always spin the 2 attacks because we've got so much blitz currency. But I kept thinking about this, and I said to myself, well, our roster has grown dramatically since our first attempts at war, which is really the first few weeks or first months of the game, to now. And guess what? There's only 8 teams that you can check in. So even if you checked in your 8 biggest teams, you still have 27 other teams if you're an in-game player. And so I went and checked. And so, Fred, you and I would say, are moderate defensive players, or moderately defensive as it comes to war, not as heavy as we used to be. And our defense only accounts for about 25% of our collection power. So we basically have a choice of 75% of our collection power to go take out 25% of someone else's. So that math is what is driving these war changes. And so Scopely's answer to everything is more. It's just always more whatever. And so we talked about it in the past. One of the things that's been rumored is that they are going to add 2 more rooms to the defense. Hooray! Just what we always wanted. And so the rest of the changes are very, very interesting. And they follow exactly what Scopely has been doing everywhere else in the game. And the biggest piece of interest was the changes to war energy. So the way war is, you get 2 in the beginning, you get another one not too long after that. And so very focused alliances want you to do 5, 6 attacks in the first 3 to 4 hours. Well, now Scopely thinks it's a great idea that you have more rooms, so let's give more energy. That seems like it makes sense. Sure. So you're going to start with 4 energy in the beginning, and every 2 hours, instead of every 3.5 hours, you're going to get 2 energy. This means you get a ton of energy up front. So the other piece is we do have a lot more energy, so that the energy cap is now 10 instead of 5. But if you just think about this, you start with 6. In the next 2 hours, you get another 2. You already have 6 energy without buying any hits yet or any charges. So this clearly is, I think, Scopely's way of saying war takes too long, we get it, let's end war really quick. However, this has a very bad connotation for, I think, the vast majority of the player base that is casual in war, which is those that show up first are going to have more than enough tax to get to the armory and basically decide the match, and probably even finish the match within the first 6 hours. So I first thought of Evan B. From he's been part of our Discord, helped us out with that, and is part of Alliance Cluster. And he's always talked about, they are not a war-focused alliance. The capability of getting, all of his 24 players to log in at the start of the war is 0. And so I think this is really going to continue to force people to casual war alliance perspectives, because war now is going to require 24 members to be signed in within the first hour. Otherwise, it's kind of over. So I just
it still lasts 24 hours, but you get all the energy in the first 6. Is that right?
You get a lot more of it up front, so you get a lot more earlier. I haven't done all the math on that, but you get a significant amount of the energy much, much earlier. If in teams that are war focused already, they're already buying at least 2 attacks, so they can compensate for that. So you're getting so much more energy early on. So let me just do the math here. 4, 6. Yeah, you basically get your 10 energy really within the first several hours of the war. So I think,
so you gotta be on by that point at the beginning, and then by that point every 2 hours, kind of like a blitz cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get your attacks in and race to the finish.
Yeah, so war is going to be done in 6 hours instead of, what is it? It's not even remotely close to 24 hours. Now it's at least the last energy grant, so 3 hours before that, and really it's really 2 to 3 before that.
Yeah, so, it's in the morning after the day after. So
yeah, for us. So it's maybe 16 hours. So now we're going down to 6 hours.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a fundamental difference, and I think it's really going to hurt more of the casual alliances. But again, I don't think they really care. So that's very strange. So that's the first piece. The other piece was, guess what they want us to invest in? More ISO. So they forced us to level up 5 characters of 5 different sets of node types for Doom. Well, now they're not requiring you to do this. Let me phrase it appropriately. But if your characters that are on offense or defense have ISO 4 or better, so the first level, ISO green level 4 or better, they now get an additional buff called War Ready. That buff is given by the cargo bay. So it's another push for us to continue to try and level up our ISO. It's now forcing us to do more and more stuff. So clearly this stuff doesn't go that far. But, this could be a huge hindrance.
4 is kind of steep.
That's very steep. Yeah.
Two is freebie territory. Three is like, okay. Four you start to feel it.
Oh yeah, 4 is not cheap. So this could be very, very interesting. So one is you get stats from ISO 4, obviously. But on top of this, you're now, because of this buff, going to get an additional 20% to health, damage, armor, resistance, and focus. So
Oof.
think about, the ringer, the alliance that has the really big guy. He could go in and put ISO 4 on his ridiculous teams and, sit in the cargo bay now and then, do that kind of stuff. So you could have to me this also signals a move to very, very heavy defenses in cargo bay and hangar, because hangar now has additional bonuses for attacking side. Cargo bay is for the defense, and then the traditional barracks and med bay. So this could shake things up for sure, but it also seems to suggest that you should go fairly heavy in these rooms and take full advantage.
Oof.
So there's more to this. I'm not going to get into all the weeds. But yet again, pushing us to ISO, yet more buffs. So, I always have to think, okay, what is my team collection power outside of war? What is it in war? And what rooms are up? I mean, so you basically just have to go look at your teams now because there's just so many darn buffs. You have no idea what their range is because it's so fundamentally different after all this.
Yeah. One of the other things from the first point about the 6-hour duration, almost, they were talking about how this will put a strain on alliances that have geographically dispersed members, right? And time zones, all that stuff.
Every alliance we've ever been in has people in the United States, has people in Europe. We've had people in Asia. We've had people, we've had them all over the place, but we've always had a mix of Europe and United States. Now it's going to be, sorry, you've got to be online at this time, or you have to pick something in the middle of our workday, which is not good either. So we put pressure on alliances to force people to push in raids because you can only get Silver Surfer, you can only get Blue ISO. And that's caused a lot of issues in terms of recruiting, because now you have to recruit a guy that says, hey, I really need a guy that can do skill notes. So do you have 5 ISO level 5 on your skill guys? Now it's, do you have ISO 4 on all your war defense? And are you in the same country time zone as me? So
can you wake up at 3 a.m. your time to make some attacks?
No way we're doing that. That's just ridiculous. So this is yet again, they just keep doubling down on more and more pressure and more administration for alliance leaders. So I'm very concerned about this. And so I was going to use all of this and we're probably running long. I'm not even paying attention today. But I wanted to use this as another caveat that we have seen turnover in our alliance. We've had several very long-time members retire. And so we've had, I think, 4 players turn over, which, 4 out of 24, not a big deal. But I am seeing, and I've talked to other alliance clusters and other alliance leads, significant turnover in the in-game ranks. So if there is significant turnover there, that then puts a tremendous strain on leaders, because recruiting is by far the worst aspect of the game. There's nothing you can do in the game. You've got to go do a bunch of manual stuff outside. They got to be perfectly fit to what you're trying to do. And then you're throwing on yet more requirements to their roster, more things that we have to track and keep track of. So I continue to see in-game players leave the game. Maybe Scopely doesn't care and they just keep getting enough fresh blood and fresh new players. But this puts yet more and more strain on alliance leaders that, frankly, are getting fed up.
Yeah, and no support, right, in terms of these tools. We still live on spreadsheets and Discord to do all this stuff, communication with the alliance and all that. So,
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit I don't know. I'm not a big fan of war at all, but this sounds worse in a way than what we have.
Well, I mean, again, you can look at it different ways. You can look at it that war is over in 6 hours, which I think not too many people are going to be upset about, but it does put more strain in the alliance. So it will cause turnover in the alliance, and it will cause some of the clusters to reshuffle players, which is always a bit painful. So I don't know. I mean, war needed something. I don't know if this is the something, but if nothing else, we don't have to look at it for 24 hours.
That's right. I did see the discussion in Discord where you were trying to see if other people were seeing the defections and things like that. So that was interesting too.
Yep.
So
okay. Well, we have. I just checked the time. Gone quite long. I had planned to cover PvP game modes for Marvel Future Revolution. We were going to talk about the ongoing bugs and Festivus as related to Sam and Deathpool and Shang Chi. Do we want to cover any of that? I'm kind of running out of gas here.
I think we talked a little bit about it last week, but we can. I mean, it's not going to be fixed, so we can talk about it next week.
Okay.
It's funny because they already said the fix is not going to be here anytime soon, so we'll talk about that next week, and then we'll. I mean, we haven't heard if people are interested in Future Revolution stuff. Please let us know. You know how to find us via Discord. That's the main way. Are you enjoying that part of it, or do you want us to do more the traditional Strike Force stuff? Let us know there. You can also email us at rngmbeam@gmail.com. You can leave a review for us on the Apple Podcast Store. We're in all their social medias that we don't use that much, but we're out there. What else?
That's it. So, as always, stay safe, stay healthy.
We'll talk next week.